regular basis. During Tech Week, I would write erotica based on the play we were doing. But I would like on purpose like write awful erotica, so it would start like pretty okay, but then by the end of it, it'd be like, and Rosalind's tit slapped against Jacquees' face, or like just like awful, terrible shit. And then normally I would send it out to everyone in the cast, like, hey guys, I wrote a little something inspired by the play. Like, check it out.
It's very freeing.
It's funny. It's a lot of fun. I couldn't write erotica seriously.
I mean, this certainly wasn't good. Although Clint's,
I mean, I feel
was
like
very funny.
yeah. I feel like bad erotica is more the point for that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He had War Machine, post paralysis War Machine.
Jesus Christ.
No.
Who did he have? Willy Wonka.
Oh no.
At God, not Coachella. The big one in the 70s, the 60s.
Oh,
Woodstock. Woodstock's in 69.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
that's
Are you
fun.
sure they didn't mean Woodstock, the Charlie Brown character?
Oh, it had to have been. No, it didn't.
That's terrible.
No.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Woodstock.
Don't sully him. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Rough Stuff, where we invite guests and have them tell embarrassing stories about themselves. I am your host, Bridgett Greenberg, and a fountain outside of a Dairy Queen once got removed after I fell in it as a child.
Dairy Queen had a okay, that's
It was like in a strip mall.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
thought it was a very fancy Dairy Queen.
No.
And I'm your co-host, Sarah Griffith, and I one time threw up in front of all my friends because I ate too many Cheez-Its.
Oh. And with us is actress, producer, podcast host for the great Even More News, Katy Stoll.
Oh, hey, this is where I say.
Yeah, this is where we start.
I'm Katy Stoll, and I was the skinniest kid at Fat Camp.
Ooh.
I've said that before, so I feel like I should have chosen a different thing to say.
What is there like a hierarchy at Fat Camp of?
Well,
like-
I mean, listen, I was the skinniest, so
Right, like
I guess
does that
was
mean
the
you're at
top.
the like top of the chain or the
Depends on
bottom of
how
the chain?
At that point, I felt top of the chain, but no
Right.
one really liked me, so
Yeah.
maybe I was the bottom of the chain.
Is there like a weight minimum then?
I think just fat.
When you step on the scale and it says, just how to go.
Yikes. No, I mean, like, I weighed close to what I weighed as an adult, like at times in my adult, like,
Yeah.
but I wasn't like morbidly obese. But
Right.
I was like, gosh, was I 9 or something like that?
Yeah.
And it just was a big girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just growing. It's fat because I went to summer camp for a sleepaway camp for an embarrassing long time in my life, like way too long. And was it similar? Like, what was the fat camp experience like? Was
Yeah, I only know the movie, so.
No, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
I just know
I say
heavyweights.
fat camp because it's funnier. It was class. So you
Okay.
go a couple nights a week.
Okay.
And then, like, my mom would take me, and then there was a class for the parents on one of those nights. They could be better parents.
Like about eating habits.
About eating and food and
Yeah.
stuff. And then for like the first couple hours, I mean, there's weigh-in. And then we have like a talk session, and then we learn about healthy eating choices. And we learn also what's the healthiest fast food that you could eat.
What is it? Tell me.
Well, like, just I don't remember now,
Damn
but
it.
Like, if you're at a
like
fast food
Taco
place.
Bell, like these are the best options.
get the
And so that was
salad.
always my treat when we went home. Like, we'd stop and get a Taco Bell.
You did so good at Fat Camp.
yeah.
Let's go to Taco Bell.
But then the end part of it would be working out with everybody.
Yeah,
So we'd
I
all
had
be
to
like,
imagine.
but like not hard working out. It'd be like
just like light calisthenics? Like,
yeah, like
Jumping jacks.
yeah, and like
Arm
waving your
circles.
arms in the
I just-
air, or
I-
like doing the like the electric slide. I don't know.
because I kind of imagine it being like old people workout classes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Like sit and be fit.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
If only it were that easy.
How long did you do that for?
Not that long.
Yeah.
I mean,
You just lost the weight so fast.
so fast. It dropped right off me. I mean, I was a
It really
child.
It seemed like Weight Watchers for children. what you just
kind of.
described.
It was called Shape Down.
Oh my God.
Shape Down. Like
And-
shake down.
Yeah, and my doctor recommended it. So there you go.
Jesus.
Yeah,
That's.
But I was the
interesting. Yeah.
skinniest kid at Fat Camp.
Very cool.
But I also there was an element of it being baby weight.
Yeah.
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 You're still kid, so you're going out of
I mean,
it.
Right.
that's an element of it. I also would come home and eat so much ice cream and toast, and I quit all sports.
Ice cream and toast.
Yeah.
Like buttered
Not together.
toast?
Oh
Were you
yeah,
pregnant?
buttered toast. I maybe no. I was too young to
Was
carry
that
it to. No, I never. It would have been a miracle for sure.
Not at the same. Like it was either ice cream or toast.
It
or
would be
like,
both.
it would-
I mean, but not at the
Like
same
a
time.
sandwich.
No. Like, let's start with some
I wanna-
toast and then
sounds
have
good.
a
Okay,
bowl
and
of
then
ice
it-
cream,
it
and then maybe
escalated.
some more toast. Like, I would eat so much toast. But
Yeah.
other things too.
You sound like you were
weird-
high.
Yeah.
Like you like went home,
It
smoked a
does.
bunch of weed.
That's like my
Interesting.
sad when I come home drunk. Like I don't have anything in the fridge. I'll make toast.
Yeah, but it's so comforting, right?
Yeah. It
It is
really
a
is.
good toast. It really does
Yeah.
hit that spot.
That's fine.
It also fills all sorts of holes left by loneliness.
Yeah, one of the like there's a period like at that age you just eat whatever, and I think one of my grossest snacks was I would toast a Pop-Tart, cut it in half, and then put ice cream in the middle.
Oh yeah.
that
and make a
sounds good,
ice cream
actually.
sandwich.
That's
It's
a
pretty-
wonderful
they probably sell
idea.
it here in LA for like $25 at like a pop-up boutique and you
Yeah.
have to wait 2 hours for.
Yeah.
If not, you should do it.
Yeah.
And also just make it because it was delightful. But thinking
I've
back on
certainly-
it, I
I've
ate it a
certainly
lot.
Had a Pop-Tart with ice cream, actually, or like maybe not a whole one, but I've like tried that. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, this is good. It's like pie.
It makes
Yeah.
sense. Some more Pop-Tart with Rocky Road ice cream.
Whoa.
Oh, interesting. That's
Yeah.
intense. I would have gone with like a lighter flavor, like a
Yeah.
fruit, like maybe a berry
Oh.
Pop-Tart with
Yeah, I
some
was thinking
vanilla in the
strawberry.
middle.
Oh.
Yeah, strawberry. I don't know. I'm just throwing that out
Guys,
there.
restaurant ideas. Jot these down.
We gotta
have to stop talking
we
about
gotta
this on
make
the air.
a food truck.
Cut this off. We have to plan business. LLC.
Yeah. So besides going to fat camp, what
else was awful?
What were you like as a kid? Like
What was I like as a kid? I was thinking back on this because you're saying like embarrassing stories,
Yeah.
and I think a lot of my embarrassing stories are like in hindsight embarrassing.
Oh, yeah,
because
yeah.
I kept
For
that
sure.
childlike inability to be embarrassed for a long time, like until maybe through freshman year.
Yeah.
It's finally started to erode.
Oh yeah, my
And-
shame as an adult has skyrocketed. Like
Yeah.
my levels of.
I'm still
Yeah.
struggling with that.
I mean, I had a lot of shame in high school, but those aren't
Yeah.
stories that you would be like.
No,
you'd be
no,
like,
they're not.
I know, like, so what? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I dropped my food in front of everybody.
Right. Yeah. The things you were ashamed of are dumb. But,
Right,
Yeah.
but I was very precocious, and I went to this alternative school
oh, cool.
from like I guess 3rd grade through 7th grade.
What is that like? They just gave you like smiley faces instead of A's. Is that
No,
the
it was
kind of
it
thing?
was so cool. It was really hippie. It
Yeah.
was still a public school. It was just like the one that you didn't have to go to, and it was set up in the hills.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful and private. It kind of felt like you were walking into a magical separate world.
Wow.
And my middle school was like everybody in the same class. It was like 6th, 7th, and 8th grade all together. We had this thing. It was called Orion, the Orion Stars, and we had Orion Cisco, like San Francisco, because it's a Bay Area
okay,
school,
okay.
where every class would become like its own store every year, and so you'd get paid
Yes.
money
Oh,
working.
I've done that.
And you go
Yeah.
around, and then the other times it'd be multicultural week, where every classroom would become a different country.
Yes.
Anyway, we were all weirdos and celebrated it. I remember wearing a hoop skirt to school once. I don't know. I loved Gone
Yeah.
with the Wind. That was that
I mean,
phase.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
Who doesn't? But
so I came out of that. So and then everybody that they changed campuses during my 8th grade year. And so I decided I would go to the big normal middle school before going to high school.
Yeah.
And that place was rough. That
Yeah.
was like, everyone had their cliques, and like there's like there are mini gangsters, like and like those are the kids that are going to be the drug addicts soon.
Yeah,
I don't
right.
want to
They hang out at the
and
mall,
those are
yeah.
the girls that are already wearing crop tops, and
Yeah.
I'm wearing
a hoop skirt.
sometimes overalls a lot.
Right.
I loved overalls with like a neck scarf and like hand gloves maybe.
Oh,
Yes. I'm really into this.
And I remember
you would be cool later.
later. But they looked at me like they didn't hate me. They kind of saw me as like a weird new animal,
Right. I feel like there's a level of respect. Like
Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
got
you
a
comfortably
thing.
fit into weird, where that's not necessarily like a bad thing.
Yeah.
That's just your thing.
And like if
Yeah.
you do it boldly,
Yeah, it's just your thing.
Right, we were just talking about like if you own it enough, no one's gonna make
Yeah.
fun of you. Like
And-
you're doing your thing.
And I really
that's
wish
cool.
I'd held on to that
Yeah.
longer. Like it's just beaten out of you.
Yeah.
But they called me Katy the Freaky Farmer, which sounds mean now. And I guess maybe it is, but that was said with love.
If you ever come out with like a 70s comedy album, It should be called Katy the
That's
Freaky
it.
Farmer. And
No, that's your
you should be in
medicinal
character.
marijuana
I know.
storefront. Boom.
It was.
That is, yeah.
I was just such a performer. I was such a little theater nerd kid, and I was really scared when I first got there. I remember that, and my mom. This is like her favorite story. Is like she remembers her heart was broken because like this is a kid, her strange child at this big school,
Right?
And I had somehow within that first week signed up to be like a student docent to lead tours for people.
Oh,
And like
right
I was a
away.
brand new student, like on the parent teacher conference night.
Amazing.
And like I was like kind of crying to my mom, like I don't know if I fit in, and she's like, "It's okay, baby, just take your time, one step at a time." And she says that then I like did a deep breath, went, shook my shoulders out, stood straight, and I said, "Well, it's showtime," and then like turned or something like that, and like turned and walked down this hallway to like lead people. Okay, right this way.
Oh my
you
God,
know?
were you me growing up? Because that is that's my brand. That's my antics for sure.
That's amazing. Were you doing theater all along, or did it take you a while? Okay.
I did my first play when I was 8.
Oh.
I was Glenda the Good Witch. In
Nice.
a
That's a
musical
good get.
review. Yeah, it was. And I couldn't sing. And I mimicked, I'm just remembering this now. I mimicked Glenda from the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do it now, but she does that like, I guess
Really
I'm going to.
high pitch.
I want you to.
Come out, you know? So
Yes.
I was this little chubby fat girl in this big pink dress singing like
That's
that.
amazing.
And I got the bug, you know?
Yeah.
I couldn't get enough of it.
It happens so quickly.
So I started doing that, and I would do children's theater, and
okay.
ever since then.
And you had,
A Star
I mean,
is
it's
Born.
good you had an outlet for your weirdness.
Yes, and like, and Orion was so good at nurturing it. Everybody was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is like a movie though of just like you're getting dumped in, you're this weird kid that
Yeah.
was like cool for
That
a
is
while.
actually
Now
how
you're
Mean
done.
Girls does start.
That
It
is
is.
true. Yes.
Yeah.
Similarly, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
I remember. Oh, this is good. I was embarrassed. I was a little
Yeah.
embarrassed by this. I took like the AV club
Yeah.
class or whatever, and we learning
Yeah.
basic editing, which I couldn't begin to tell you now. Also, it's not how we edit now. It was,
Yeah,
like,
it's
actual
very different.
editing.
Yeah, you're cutting
Um,
strips.
And for a school assignment, we made a music video.
Nice.
We did "If You Want to Be My Lover" by the Spice
yeah.
Girls.
Okay.
I know
Before
it.
your time, but it was big in
No,
my
I
days.
was into Spice Girls for sure.
Yeah,
growing up.
yeah, I went to a lot of
The
Spice
ages-
Girls themed
ages is a little bit
birthdays.
different, but
Sure,
I
sure.
know
Yeah.
what you're. I know.
Yeah, you feel me. You feel me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was sporty, and we did a whole music video, and like
Nice.
with a dance
That's the
routine
best
and
one.
everything. Yeah, so good. It had like I did all these like kicks, but
Yeah,
I
'cause
can't
she was
kick
always
very
the high
high.
kicker.
Yeah.
But I
'Cause
can't
she's
kick
sporty.
high. It was pretty low.
That's amazing.
They didn't
And-
do that at Fat Camp. Do kicks with you?
No,
They didn't
no
work
high
on your
kicks.
high kicks.
No, it was too dangerous. Pull something. But they
That
but they
momentum is
played the music video during the morning announcements.
Oh, no.
For the whole school.
Oh, that's
And
not fair.
That's not
That's
fair.
mean.
That's just
terrible.
not
It's
fair.
the principal bullying you if that.
You know,
yeah.
I think there was part of me that was secretly thrilled.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm a ham, born and
Yeah.
through and through. But no, it was very embarrassing. So then I was a freshman,
Yeah.
and I was starting to get self-conscious, or like starting
Right.
to not be.
Just
but-
become aware of like how you
Yeah.
fit in with everyone else.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those puberty hormones start
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I ran for class office. I was just still so eager and
Yeah.
excited about everything.
knowing you now that fits.
Yeah, my brothers called me Miss High School America. I wanted to do everything. I was so thrilled
Right.
Yeah.
with it all. At least at first. No, the whole way through.
Loved every minute of high school.
Yeah, prom was very exciting. I planned my prom. I was that girl.
Nice.
But I ran for office, and nobody was running against us. But the girls, a few girls that I befriended, we were like, we're going to run together as a team, as a slate. And I was vice president. And
The
we,
ticket.
We made
Yeah.
as a ticket.
Yeah,
Thank you. Very political. We made a rap. It was like, my name is Katy. Yeah, and I'm a lady. Vote for me to be VP. And then we all went, roll call. So bad. Oh my God, it makes me cringe. We won because no one was running against us.
Yeah,
That
are you
could have
sure it
lost
wasn't the
you.
rap?
I think it was the rap.
If Hillary had rapped, then this would be all over.
It could have been. She didn't ask me for my advice.
When that happened, Did you get that feeling you get like if you're on stage bombing? Like, was it palpable? Did you know?
100%.
Oh, that's
Beginning of the end for me.
yeah, that's a rough feeling to deal with. And I didn't do theater as a growing up, so I didn't experience that until I was an adult and did stand up. And that as an adult, I couldn't handle.
Yeah.
Like,
not
what
as
do
an
I
adult.
do?
I was like 18, 19. I was a freshman in college, but like, ooh, you want to leave so bad. And I
Yeah.
think I would have left. I think high school Bridgett would have just been like bailed.
High school Bridgett being up there doing stand-up, though, would have been very impressive.
Oh, no, that would have been terrible.
It would have been terrible, but I'm just saying the balls it takes to do that.
Yeah.
But I will say, in your defense, at least you did like a cute white girl rap.
Yeah.
Because I got really into hip hop in like really beginning of middle school, but then also in high school. And like, I wasn't like so conscious to the point where I was like, hey, actually, like maybe this
Chill
isn't cool.
out.
Because I would write raps and I would.
Yes. You need to bring those on.
Oh, I have video. I will proudly, because some of the rhymes still hold up. Like I look back.
What's your favorite one?
I did one for the musical we were doing, and it was cats.
Was it
Andrew Lloyd-
erotic?
No, it wasn't erotic.
Erotic rap?
Oh, that's not on this.
Yeah.
No. I would write erotic theater fiction in college when it was like funny and I was aware and it was
Sure.
like, oh, this is just for kicks. But I went to performing arts high school. So like I went to kind of a hippy dippy elementary school as well. And then I went to a really hippy dippy high school where it was like,
Lucky.
we love everyone. Everyone's cool. We're cool. And so we would do our all school musicals, which were actually really kick ass because that would be the dance department sending their best dancers, the acting, like our theater department sending the best actors, vocalists sending, like, so it really was quite a production. And I always worked backstage because I couldn't get into those damn musicals. And like in my free time as like an assistant stage manager, I would like write these raps. And then like we were selling season tickets and I was like, if you, like there was always incentives. And so like, if everyone in my class sold 25 tickets, we got to go to the movies during the day.
I thought one of the incentives was you would rap for everybody.
Well, that was my personal incentive to buy season tickets for me. I said, I wrote this dope ass Cats rap. If everybody like, you know, if you pay me, if you sell tickets for me, like I will post this online. Oh, it's on Facebook. Sarah Griffith. It's public. If you want to find this, go right ahead. I'm wearing this dope ass gold. I mean, I'm looking fresh. See, this is where I'm saying like my shame still hasn't come in because I look back at this, I was like, yo, I killed this. But then, like, flash forward, the first time I heard Iggy Azalea on the radio, that's when it clicked, like, oh, that's what I sound like, and that's stupid.
That's
and
not okay.
Because, like, at least you're kind of doing, like, this thing, like, my name is Sarah, and I'm here to say
Yeah.
that I'm going to freak you in a major way. Like, that's kind of cute. Like, oh, you know, that's...
Like, okay,
I
pat
don't
you
know
on the
that
head.
one.
Yeah.
Sure, but I was like, yo, check it. We're out here, Lloyd Webber. Like...
Andrew Lloyd Webber plays.
Well, like at least at the very least, like in my defense, at least it was like self-aware. And,
Sure.
like, we know it's Cats. We know this sucks. Like I remember when they said we're doing Cats, all of us were like, okay, but what are we doing? And I was like, no, we've already bought the rights. It's Cats. Like, God damn it.
I can't. All these high schools doing these big musical productions like that. Cody was saying that he did Les Mis.
What?
In high school.
Les Mis is such a trap for high schoolers. There's
I've
never
never
a good.
heard of this before.
Oh,
He
the
says
close-
it was good, and I call
There's
bullshit.
no way. There's no
Les
way.
Mis and Into the Woods are two musicals
Yeah.
that
Into the Woods,
every
yeah.
high school theater kid wants to do because that's kind of like your first foray into like
Yeah.
real proper musical theater, but they never translate well. They
But
really never do.
Les Mis, it's just so beyond. Let's just that.
The
putting
set
aside
piece, the barricade in Les Mis.
Yeah, putting aside the set pieces, the difficult songs, the journey of these characters is so beyond a high schooler's
dark play,
imagination. They can't honestly portray these characters.
Rent is another high school one that I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah, Rent.
do you guys even know what the AIDS crisis was? Like, are you fully aware? And like, I think my high school can kind of get away with it a little bit more because everyone at my school is like there to study that art.
Sure.
But then I hear about people who went to like regular high school and there was just the drama club putting
Basic
on
ass
cabaret.
high school.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, folks,
Yeah.
listen, you don't have to do that. Do music, man. Jesus Christ.
I feel like maybe I was just oblivious to it, but I feel like the only plays we had in high school were like, it was called the Theater for Social Change. And they're all like
the SNL sketch for the
before
kids.
it was all like, don't do drugs plays.
I didn't say, I went,
Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't like they thought about social change differently than we do it now, but it's all like don't do drugs plays.
Sure.
Okay.
There's one time, and thank God this play got canceled, and I was devastated. It was in middle school, and I was devastated at the time, but we were in middle school, you had to take an elective, and I took acting it was not my thing at the time, and probably not really still, but and we did Midsummer Night's Dream in middle school, and I was Puck, and I was stoked about it.
That is such a fun part.
It was, and then they canceled it because the teacher just got like upset with everyone and canceled it.
Oh,
and
that's heartbreaking.
And I memorized all of that.
Was it a full version or was it like an abridged?
It was abridged, but it was still,
Midsummer
I was
Junior.
in like 7th grade. But thank God it didn't come out because I only later thought about it because at the time, devastated. But thank God because there was a ballet number, and I might not be an actor, but I am definitely not a dancer. Definitely not a dancer. And there was like a ballet number with all the fairies, and I had to be like in front.
Wow.
That's an ambitious and unnecessary
That is
addition.
ambitious.
And I say ballet. It was probably just like a dance. In my head, it was like the most
You had to
graceful.
do a pas de deux,
Yeah,
at least.
I don't know what that means, but sure. It was and not my thing, and it could not have been good, but I thought I was killing it. But looking back, I remember she told me I canceled the play, and then I was devastated. And the week of the play, I was just thinking around, I was like, no, it's probably great that
dodged
didn't
a bullet
happen. Yeah,
there.
that was probably great that didn't happen because we were at an assembly, and I was just looking at the stance, and I was looking at all the people, and I was like, thank God I am not dancing around in fairy wings right now because it's not good.
I will say I did have I just remembered this. I did have one great experience seeing Les Mis done by kids.
Oh.
And it was like a community children's theater, and we had a hurricane hit, so they had to cancel like half their like school was canceled, the whole thing. So the performances were canceled, and of course, because it's kids theater, all the roles were doubled up. So like the girl who played Fantine, this was going to be her only time to play Fantine because her other performances was canceled. And she was a beautiful, I mean, she was like 16 or 17.
She has the best song.
Beautiful singer. She sang I Dreamed a Dream. I literally choked up because we all knew like this was her only time. Like poor girl, like she had like 4 of her performances canceled. And then they're like, well, because of the hurricane, some people evacuated and we had to fill in whatever. So we're like going on and, look down, it's all happening. And Javert walks out. I'm like, oh, okay, that's Javert. And then Jean Valjean walks out. And I was like, oh, he looks just like Javert. And then my friend was like, oh, I forgot to mention, identical twins are playing Jean Valjean and Javert. Yes, it was the greatest
nuts.
thing. And they were the same looking. Like they even had the same facial. They're like, not
I'm
even
going to
the
go on a
director.
limb and say that's bad casting.
Yeah.
Well, because they were doubled up, and because of the schedule, like they were never supposed to be together.
Oh.
But because of the scheduling, that happened, and I was like,
That is so
and there was a time.
funny.
confusing.
This is where I'm gonna reveal myself as a bitch. In high school, me and my friends would go see other high school performances because we knew they would suck compared to
Sure.
ours. So we went to see a lot of shitty like high school theater plays, and it was like that we were like all sitting in a row, and like literally all of us grabbed hands because we were like buckle in for the craziest Les Mis ever, that the protagonist and antagonist, like 2 of the most famous like pairings in musical theater history, are identical twins. And they, what, God bless them, they killed it, and it was absolutely, I was like, this is the best Les Mis I've ever seen in my life.
Good for them. I remember high school talent shows, just every girl doing On My Own.
Oh, no.
It was just like
never had a talent show.
Did they start with On My Own, or did they start with like, and now I'm on
No,
my own
you got
again?
one song, and they just it was just On My Own after On My Own, and it was like, that's a tough song.
It is for a middle school girl, I think,
because
especially.
we didn't have talent shows as far as I knew. I think I was pretty like tuned out of the whole scene.
I mean, it's
Not
an
interested.
embarrassing song to blow.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's up there with Glinda the Good Witch singing in her false vibrato.
Yeah. I feel like I was either removed or it didn't happen, and I cannot remember, but we stopped doing that after high school.
For me, like when I went to auditions, it was always On My Own, and this is maybe an MT deep cut, but Waiting for Life from
What?
Once on This Island.
Nope.
Stephen Flaherty. Really?
What's
okay. So it's Stephen Flaherty, Lynn Aron's musical. It's based
Oh
off
my
of,
God.
It's based off The Little Mermaid, and like
Okay.
historically, like it is cast with like a primarily like either black or just not white cast. And this one song is kind of like an ingenue, like greatest hits. It's like right up there with like, oh, name them. But like always these white girls would come and sing this song that's like,
oh yeah,
this isn't for
It's
you.
not meant for them.
It's like an all-white dream girls.
And the range, exactly. And the range is like so incredibly wide. And so that and On My Own are like, oh, let's see how bad you're going to butcher this song. And of course I'd sit there like, mortals, like I can sing worth a damn, please.
That's true. You were mentioning something when we were talking about you played a lot of, it seemed like you played a lot of roles for men. You mentioned being Augustus Gloop and
Yeah, I did.
That's a good one.
Well, yeah. So my very first
Mr. Beaver. That was
Mr.
it.
Beaver. So after Glinda the Good Witch, I did like a summer. I did every year. This place really shaped me. I did like a summer theater conservatory, which was really cool. You take acting classes in the morning, and then in the afternoon you would rehearse. And then if you weren't rehearsing, you're building the props and the set pieces.
Yeah.
And
Right.
excuse me. So first one I did is Lion the Witch in the Wardrobe, and I had my heart set on Lucy. I had my heart, I had a little
Who wouldn't? Yeah.
brown haircut. I thought I should be Lucy.
Yeah.
I don't
course.
know. That made sense to me then.
Yeah.
But I was still a fat kid. And I was cast as Mr. Beaver. Not even Mrs. Beaver, Mr. Beaver.
Yeah.
And I also
That's so sweet though.
it's sweet. The pictures of me in that costume were so funny. But I was really sweaty. I had like the sweatiest little hands, and especially when I was nervous and hot, and I was wearing so much beaver clothes. It was warm and tweed, and I got really nervous, and it was like my big monologue, and I kind of like stepped forward, and my hands were so damp, and I realized that I had been clutching my pants right by my crotch nervously, wiping them, and then my pants were all wet right there. It was
That's adorable.
it's adorable,
But
but like,
horrifying.
and like you can see how wrinkled and like when your pants get damp and then dry out, like the picture of me afterwards. I'm like, oh, little girl.
Oh no.
So that was my first, but I had a fun time. Obviously, enjoyed it enough to keep coming back.
Yeah.
And then I got cast in. So they had like the summer conservatory things, but then they have kids. You can audition to be in the main big shows that the adults are in during the year.
Right. Okay, yeah.
And we did Charlie. They did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and I got cast as an Oompa Loompa. But also as the understudy for Augustus
Was
Gloop.
this the musical
And
version, or was this
no,
okay.
just straight play? And so I was an Oompa Loompa understudy for Augustus Gloop, but they were gonna call me Augusta.
I've done many roles like that.
But
Yeah.
I never had to go on. Paul Ehat's, I remember his name. Wow.
Stole
Theater
that role
pals
from you. Or kept that
stole
role
that,
from
kept
you.
it either way you want to look at it. Yeah.
That's adorable. I remember like going to plays and always being secretly jealous of like the theater kids, and I was like, I want to do that, and I never did it.
Well, then you did, and it got canceled.
And then that is very
What
true.
a scarring,
So-
traumatic experience.
Yeah. So I stayed away from it, and then I learned you can make movies.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
different
And then-
ways to
Yeah.
be in this game.
Yeah,
really.
When I learned that, I almost got suspended from school because we made a movie for like our homecoming games. There was like a video contest, and there was just so much cursing in it. When we look back on it, we were just like, there wasn't that much. Like we were like being annoying teenagers, but yeah, we were like, the teachers aren't letting us put on this movie,
Right.
And we were really railing against the system. And then looking back on it, one, it's terrible. It's really, really embarrassing. And we put it on YouTube, and we were trying to set it
Still on?
around.
See, I
and,
can't believe you were in high school when there was YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, it was early.
Early.
It was,
Sure.
It was early, but yeah,
Rudimentary.
there was still
like
YouTube.
porn was still pretty much the number one YouTube thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I look back on it now, every other word's a curse word.
Yeah.
And we thought it was hilarious.
And
we
there is an
bleeped
age
it.
where you really don't know how to swear.
Yeah.
Like I remember I heard my sister say.
Oh, it doesn't make sense.
I heard my sister say like she pricked her finger on something and she said, "Ah, bitch, goddamn!" And even as like an 11-year-old,
That's like
I
a
was
rapper
I
curse
was like,
word.
That's not
not how you do
swear.
it.
That's in a rap
At least
song.
goddamn
yeah.
it would have made sense, but bitch, goddamn was like that's you're just
Isn't
saying
that
words.
Just give me a motherfucker or something.
Isn't that in Get Low? Like, did she hear that in the song and just...
Possibly.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure where bitch goddamn came from, but I was
That's
like,
definitely-
you gotta learn how to
It's
swear.
actually, that does sound like it could be a good lyric in something.
bitch bitch, goddamn.
Bitch, goddamn.
That's my cat's rap.
Name of the episode? I don't know.
Your cat's rap was
My
bitch
cat's rap. It's called bitch, goddamn.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of your embarrassments, which I can't believe we haven't talked about, are public, which is very different.
Yeah.
Because like the stuff you look back on and are ashamed of are things that only happen between a couple people.
Yeah.
But if you know enough to be embarrassed in the moment, when you're young
Yeah.
like that, it's rough.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
But see, at that point, I was immune to it. Like I remember like not liking that my pants were so damp or whatever. But like
Right, you were able to
whatever. The show must
you
go
know,
on.
I mostly really hated that I got so sweaty. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
You were able to bounce back, even like the
yeah.
rap thing. Did you just?
Yeah, but yeah, my friends, that was my charm then.
Yeah.
Is like a lot of people were like, "Oh, you're very innocent. Take you under our wing."
Aw.
Yeah.
All the girls taught me how to like do the butterfly school dances, which I don't know. Is that what they're called? I'm square,
Yeah.
but it's like you won't know. And this is an audio medium, and I can't demonstrate it. Some of you will know what I'm talking about.
I understand what you mean when
know?
like other girls were kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
come here, let me put
They
eyeliner
took-
on you for
exactly.
the
They
first time
took
ever.
me under their wing, but that's hard. That's where I got in my head. See,
yeah,
that's where it switches
because that
for
happened
me.
to me too. Because I was such a tomboy and like I
Yeah.
wasn't ever trying to impress anybody, and like they thought it was.
Well, I
good.
was,
Yeah. Or I secretly was, but like it was like, oh, I don't care about anything, and
Yeah.
and looking back on it, like, yeah, the embarrassingness of it was like, no, learn how to dance like a normal person at a party, Bridgett. And it's like, no, not for me. I'm cooler than that. I don't care
Right.
about you guys. And it's almost more embarrassing now thinking about it that like, where it's like, yeah, Bridgett, come over and get ready for this birthday party with us, just so they could teach me like, no, dress like a person
But that's
does.
sweet.
Yeah.
It's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
But it gets you in your, I don't know. I think
You get in
eventually
your head,
you get
yeah.
in your head and you're, and
Right,
it
because it's
becomes,
like, well,
You get
do
really
think
so-
that there's
yeah.
something wrong with it?
Right,
Yeah,
no,
you get that feeling of like, oh.
yeah, you get that you learn self-consciousness and
Yeah.
realize like, yeah, it's nice, but also clearly I'm doing something
Actually,
wrong.
that's one of my favorite things about living alone now is that I don't have another girl roommate to be like, oh, are you wearing that? Or
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
let me fix your makeup before you go out. It's like, no. Let me just be
Yeah.
fucking ugly.
Yeah, I got this.
Let me just be weird and
Let
ugly.
me just make my mistakes
Please.
and don't tell me
Everyone's
about
gonna drink and it doesn't matter anyway, so who cares?
yeah. What was I going to say? I forgot it. Will
it.
it
About
come
being
back?
self-conscious.
About being self-conscious, about being
Yeah, girls
in
taking
high
you under their
school,
wing.
Girls taking you under their wing. Oh, I'll always have been and still am a people pleaser.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of performers and people that crave a spotlight and attention are kind of that way.
Yeah.
So I think in high school, when there was I think it combined with that, it switched, and that's when I became acutely aware of like being self-conscious or
Yeah.
like second guessing your instincts and
Yeah, I think there's also a thing, now that I'm thinking about it, that you have this thing that endears people to you, and it's because it's not normal or it sticks out, and you're like, let me stick to this thing because that is what pulls people towards me. And then you start realizing it's a weird thing about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't know whether to lean into it more or to back away from it and try to be normal. And eventually I feel like adulthood is just like finding that balance
Yes. Yeah.
of that. But it's uncomfortable in those in between years
Yeah.
where you first start being self-conscious and you're like, do I do more of this and really just go hard at it?
Yeah.
Or do I be
mean,
and it's hard to pivot too, because once you're known for a thing, it's
Sure.
like it would be
Yes.
weird. Like I remember desperately like I don't want to wear my brother's hand-me-downs anymore. I like boys now, and I want them to notice me. And it would have been so weird if I walked into a party
Yeah.
wearing like a dress.
difficult
Yeah.
to rebrand at that
Yeah,
age. You
yeah.
don't have
Yeah.
a
You
whole
can't
PR
rebrand.
team.
Yeah.
That happens in teen movies. That does not happen
wasn't-
in real life. If that
Yeah.
happened, if I saw some girl who was a tomboy previously show up to a party like wearing like a really
Yeah.
pretty dress and her hair down and be like, oh, look at the bitch. Like,
Right, yeah,
what
exactly.
an idiot. Like,
I
'cause
could-
that, that kind of train, that doesn't happen.
No.
And if it's so fake and so inauthentic, and I think people see right through that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, but you stuck to your brand, and it's not
Stuck to my
it's
brand.
not-
I did stick to my brand. It did morph a bit, but I was
Yeah.
you still. I mean, I got from out of the gate. I was like I said,
Yeah.
super stoked about high school and senior year.
That's crazy.
I was a student government every year. Did everything. Voted most spirited when I
Nice.
graduated. I
I
remember.
have a superlative similar.
it's,
What's
yeah.
yours?
Okay.
Because I had the opposite one.
So my school is the High School for the Performing and Visual Arts, HSPVA. I'm the first.
Sounds like an STD.
Yeah.
HPV. HSPVA. I was the first girl crowned Miss HSPVA in like a decade.
Wow.
Because like
Miss
we had
HPV, yes.
Yes, because we had a lot of like, of course, we had a lot of gay guys at our school, and like as a joke, like it'd always be like the most like flamboyant guy win Miss HSPVA. But my year, people actually campaigned that I won instead of like
That's
a guy.
nice.
I know, but I'm saying this on a show that's supposed to be about embarrassing things, and actually, this is like a pretty cool thing.
That's a
I'm
great
like,
thing.
I like wear that proudly, but yeah, but because I was school
What
spirited,
a progress!
like,
What a cool school.
well, because like I want to be involved in all the productions and stuff.
Yeah.
Because like my school was cool, so like I did want to be involved, and so people saw me as like I was like the come on, you guys, let's go to Circle, let's do
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave me most likely to fall asleep in class.
Is that true?
It was true, but also I was not cut nearly enough slack because I was doing 2-a-days for basketball practice.
That's intense.
So I was, up at like 5 a.m. running wind sprints and then had to be back at it at 4 p.m. that
Wow,
day.
regular high school sounds like it sucked.
Yeah, I can't believe you were excited about it. I remember being so nervous. I threw up before, but I think that was a
Just
different
seemed
thing.
like a challenge to be conquered. I don't know.
Yeah. Just that you
I was
woke
also
up.
just so oblivious, especially that freshman year. Like
Yeah.
those girls taking me under their
Ignorance
wing
is
and being.
bliss.
I remember one time there was like a welcome freshman thing in front of the whole school, and like someone like
Did you do another rap?
win? No, but you win a prize or something, and like I won the thing, and I got so excited, like, whoa, yeah. You can't see me. I'm raising my fist in the air, and I ran down, like kind of like waving my hand in the
Yes,
air, like
yes.
Arsenio Hall or something. And I grabbed the shirt, and I came back up, and my friend was like, "Do not ever do that again."
Oh.
It's like, what?
Oh, what a buzzkill friend.
Yeah, but like that was just who I was.
They were trying to
Yeah.
protect you, but
They
you
were.
Didn't, you didn't realize that you needed protecting.
I didn't realize it.
And that's an endearing trait. It really is now. But in high school, you want to like lie low and be
Yeah.
cool, and it doesn't
cool.
work.
I don't
Also,
really
there's
care.
that's a fine line. Like, sure, that's cute.
Yeah.
But is it? You know?
Yeah. My best friend in high school was definitely that person, and I will never forget. She got called out during a school assembly because she was eating a bagel at the time, and the dean of the school was like, "Get up right now, throw that away." And across the whole school, just did a sachet walk, like a full runway walk.
Oh, no.
I didn't even realize what she was doing. But it was just that kind of person, and just did a full runway walk as the whole school was silent.
Oh, that's not embarrassing.
Threw
That
out her
sounds
bagel.
powerful.
She did, but
She
she didn't
owned
know
it.
She didn't know what she was doing. She didn't realize that is how she was walking.
Like a bad bitch.
Yeah, she just
Okay, I'll throw this bagel away.
she was just mad and had some swagger going, and the whole school was just like snickering, and I was like, "Dear God, girl, sit
Wow,
down."
I would have
Sit-
respected
sit
that.
down.
I
I've been
think
like,
they might have
"Damn,
been
who's
snickering
she?"
at the print, like the
the dean.
dick.
Yeah, in my memory, it's just like she doesn't realize she's doing a runway walk right now.
Good for her.
But good
No,
for
she
her.
knew.
It's a badass moment we
also,
talk about now.
come on, let her eat the bagel.
Yeah,
Right?
prep schools are strict.
Oof.
They're
Wow.
not cool. They don't let us do plays. They
Yeah,
unless it's
I'm
about not
sorry.
doing
you
drugs.
are right. This normal.
Normal high school.
I literally did not realize how much normal high school sucked until I went to college and people were telling me the stories like, oh yeah, these kids died when we were in school. Like, what the fuck? Like, what were y'all doing?
Yeah.
Well, I presume it wasn't the high schools.
No, but I mean like, I mean, we're getting into a dark tip, but it was like drugs and
Well,
alcohol kind of
yeah.
things. And I was like, damn, like we never had problems like that because everyone was like,
It's a high
Yeah.
school
Doing their
musical.
thing.
like
high school.
wholesome.
yeah, we were a high school
No, they
musical.
were-
high
You were just
school.
breaking out into
Yeah,
Except
song.
we didn't have sports at all. I didn't have
Okay.
PE in high school.
Okay.
I'm telling you, I went to a different kind
That's
of
the
school.
other reason I felt, because I did also, you had to take like a varsity level PE. So it was
You had to?
if you were on a varsity team, like especially my basketball coach ran that
Yeah, but
section.
not all the
No, I
students.
didn't run for 4 whole years.
The ones that like he made do it, you had to do it. It was a weird psychological
Okay.
thing. So yeah, I had 2 days, and then I had 2 Ps, and then I had practice
That's
after
nuts.
school. So of course I fell asleep in class all the time.
Yeah,
And my
that
parents were
sucks.
very angry, and I was like, "Do you understand?" I'm
That's like
yeah.
an unhealthy amount of activity.
Yeah, it probably was.
Wow.
I have bad knees now.
Sure.
Yeah.
See? And you're
I
very
did-
young, so
I did-
that's strange.
I did calisthenics and health nutrition classes with my parents. That was my PE.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, fat can't pee. It's all.
Fat can't PE. I was also a soccer player,
Yeah.
softball player in high school,
wow.
second string, never played. No, I did play a couple times. In hindsight, I should have been wearing my glasses, but I didn't. I did all of this
Yeah,
stuff.
you can't.
I was never a good player, but I had heart.
You had spirit.
Yeah. I had spirit.
Those are the people that you want to see out
That's what
there.
you want.
Those are the people who cheered. Because I remember, like, early on when I wasn't very good, people would cheer when I got in the games. And I was like, please don't do that. Please, no one.
This
Don't
is
look at
extra
me.
pressure.
Don't clap for me. I know what this means. It's not
Yeah.
because I'm good and you're excited to see what I'm about to do. It's
Right.
because you feel bad for me.
Yeah.
Oh.
But, high school is a fun time.
Well, mine
Yeah.
actually was. I don't know what's wrong with your fucking PE 24/7.
Yeah.
In hindsight, we all had it wrong.
We
Or
really
I
did.
did. I don't know.
You did. I think you had it right.
I think you had it right. I think you struck somewhere in the middle,
We're
and I
like
think
the
I was
Three
way off
Bears.
base.
Yeah.
I was way off base.
I feel like you're a good middle because, like, maybe your high school was too hard, but maybe my high school was too soft.
Yeah.
And your high school was, like, right in the middle.
Well,
No, but even personally, you were just like trying hard, and you were doing the right stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just
I
hard
think
being a
you had
teen.
it right. It's hard being a teen, you
It
guys.
is.
No, I did love high school, and I didn't want it to leave. I was acutely aware of it by the time I was done with high school.
Yeah.
Then I
Oh,
got
yeah.
bad. I was still a good student, but then I was like, my best friend and I started smoking pot, and I
It all
was
went
like, we were
downhill.
like, this can be our thing. We literally had
yeah.
that conversation. We can be the girls that show up with pot and get high.
That is
and
that is a
that is
cool
a-
person to be. Yeah.
In high school, yes.
If you're
That
the
is-
person with-
everywhere
but
else, no.
That's not who I wanted to be. It
No.
was just that it was like rebelling against like everything I had been,
Yeah.
and I was such a goody, and I still was a goody goody. I was
Yeah.
still such a good girl that was afraid of getting in trouble, but yeah.
Yeah.
Then I rebelled. But anyway, I didn't want it to end. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't
Oh.
want to. I mean, I did, but like,
Same. It was hard to leave high school.
yeah,
Ooh.
I knew it was. I knew. I was like,
I know,
these
we're
are the
like
best
the,
days
we're
of
like
our
the
lives.
freaks because like no one
I-
else. I also peaked in high school. I should probably say that too.
I remember just junior
didn't.
year, like sitting at home one day, and like I found out this is why the internet killed us. Found out all my friends were like out and they didn't invite me.
Oh, that's rough.
And I was just like, it was junior year, and I just remember thinking to myself, like, 2 more years, Bridget. You get 2 more years, and then you're gonna shine.
oh, baby.
And I peaked in high school. It turns out.
No, you're shining.
I'm a star now.
I feel like I might have peaked in middle school. What are you gonna do?
Are you
What
sure
are
it
you
wasn't
gonna
that Glenda performance? That kind of seems like that brought the house down.
I
Yeah.
just like was one bright shooting star in
a bubble.
moment. Yeah,
Only on the up and up. I think 8th grade. I peaked in 8th grade. That was
8th grade's a good year.
yeah, it is. A lot
a
of
good year.
Well, it was a little rough for me, but
Yeah.
still, it's in general.
8th grade's bar mitzvah year, at least
Okay.
in my town.
Yeah.
So like you had 2
So that was
parties to go
7th grade. Well, 7th and 8th
to.
grade.
7th
yeah.
and 8th grade, you had like at least 2 parties to go to every
yeah,
weekend.
I remember like every weekend
yeah,
going to a mitzvah.
yeah. Yeah.
I'm so jealous of that. I've never
Oh.
been to a mitzvah.
Oh, they're fun.
Mine was the blast.
I mean, I haven't been to one since I was 13, so I say they're fun. But I do hear that they turn, like, I hear they suck when you're a teen, and then when you turn 21, they get good again for
Right.
some
Yeah.
weird reason.
Yeah.
Something happens, and suddenly they're fun.
Your own is just a nightmare of embarrassment because you're 13
Oh, yeah.
and like you have people carrying you into a party.
well, they
and,
take
like,
all those photos of you at, like,
the worst age.
the worst, like, across the board.
Yeah, it's a painful age for
It's
everybody.
yeah.
So I go
And
to
then-
my like Jewish friends' home and I see their mitzvah photos and they just look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then it's like, at least for my friends, like whatever they were into at the time was their mitzvah photo. So like if you were on the soccer team at the time, guess what?
Soccer.
David Beckham. That's what your photos are.
My theme was space.
It's pretty cool.
This
Yeah.
is cute though. I don't have a big party photo like that.
Yeah, I mean,
If
you
you
also
want one, you can get one now. Like
you
you're
also-
an adult,
yeah.
you can do
Maybe I
whatever you
will.
want.
you also have to
Maybe I
study.
will.
Yeah, there's a give and take
There's
because you have
other-
to.
I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
you have to
there's
study
other-
for
learn
months.
Hebrew.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Or fake learn Hebrew. They kind of just
Learn
give you,
enough Hebrew.
Yeah, they give you they do spell it out in English, and you just read like phonetically English, but it's Hebrew. And you have to sing and give a speech at 13.
I wanted to be Jewish. My whole life. I mean,
Yeah, I mean the chair thing looks fun.
It looks fun. But like everybody, I just was fascinated by it, like as a kid.
Totally.
And it felt like a world that I wasn't invited to.
The tribe.
I guess another town, like, because my town was deeply Jewish, so it's like you get to be different, I guess,
Yeah.
in another town that's not Miami Beach, Florida, which is like famously just Jews.
Wow.
It's just a town of old Jews and Cubans. That's like that's our demographic. So
My
yeah,
demographic.
it wasn't special. It was just like everybody is, but I can see it being like cool.
Oh yeah.
In my it's not that fun. I mean, I'm not going to make a comment anymore about that.
And wrap it
And
up.
we're going to wrap it up. But we are. Katie, thank you so much for coming.
Oh, man.
And sharing your high school theater stories and rapping.
My pleasure. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
I did.
Give you a beat right now. Can you freestyle or something?
Nah,
Or?
but I could do Vanilla Ice. That was by the end of high school, that was my
Yes.
party trick. Yes, that was a conscious decision to know all the lyrics.
I had
to
one of
I've
those.
committed them to memory. Yeah.
I memorized all the party and bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this now. but
You don't have to.
We can't afford to. Well, Vanilla Ice maybe we could afford, not Biggie.
Yeah, but we won't make you do it.
Thank
you
you.
can you can just tell everyone where we can find you. What you're up to.
You can. Well, I'm up to a lot. You can find me on Twitter, Katy Stoll, at Katy Stoll. It's Katie with a Y, just so you don't get confused.
That's how you got that handle.
It is how I got that handle. I'm working with Cody Johnston, also from Cracked, and kind of resurrecting his news show.
Yeah.
We're called Some More News. And then he and I are co-hosting a podcast called Even More News. And it's really
I always
fun.
love those titles.
It's good, right?
Yeah. It fits his brand.
It fits his brand. And it's been going really well. It's exciting.
Yeah, it has. Definitely.
Yeah. Check it out. Check out the podcast. We're getting good at it.
Yeah.
Fun.
You are. It's informative and funny and very casual. I've been listening. It's good.
They're literally the only way to do a podcast with Cody and I. Is
Yeah.
It has to be very casual.
It would be weird if it was very formal.
Like at
what is
first-
a formal podcast?
I don't know. I
don't
tried
know.
to follow, like, I know Jack O'Brien always has
Yeah.
like a long, detailed outline, and I tried to do it, or like I was like have conversations with him. Okay, what are we going to talk about? And he's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
That's
Like,
that's not
he's
how
like,
Cody
well,
rolls.
And like he doesn't have to, like, I feel like I want to like prepare.
Yeah.
He just knows everything.
I mean, yeah, he goes into his research holes.
Yeah, I mean, he prepares. But so anyway, it's casual, and that's the vibe.
Yeah.
And that's what we're sticking with.
Yeah, so definitely check that out. You can find me on Twitter at Bridgett Tweets. We're on the Small Beans Network, so check out that Patreon.
Give us some money.
Yeah, they're doing some great stuff. And where this podcast is on all social media. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Rough Stuff Pod. Check it out.
Yes, and please, some people have been adding Rough Stuff Pod and telling their own embarrassing stories.
Keep it going.
Please, the one
love it.
after we did our episode with Swaim about vomiting, I got like 4 or 5 different notifications with people telling their own vomiting story, and they were hilarious. So folks, please keep going. And then you could tweet me personally at SK Griffith. If you want to send me your personal embarrassing stories, you don't want to put it out there, that's fine.
Send them to Sarah.
DM me.
She collects them.
Yeah.
It's not weird.
It's not weird.
It's not weird.
It's not weird.
We'll leave it on that. Not weird.
Right.
This has been a Small Beans endeavor. We're a bunch of pals who make podcasts, sketches, music, web series, and movies. The Beans always have new ideas percolating, so make sure to check us out at patreon.com/smallbeans. That's patreon.com/smallbeans, where you can browse all of our current and past content, see what we've got planned in the future, and learn how your support can help the small beans grow into huge, giant monster beans. If you enjoyed this content module, please like, rate, subscribe, or tell a friend about us. We love you.